Hey folks, Dumock the Artist coming at you from a hidden bunker deep within the bowels of the city. And in case you could tell by the title of this video, another pastor gets caught doing something stupid. This time, it's not necessarily what you may think. Apparently, a server at Applebee's, the Christian group comes in to Applebee's, 10 people, they get a whole bunch of service, make a whole bunch of demands, etc., and so on. And they even tried to get around the compulsory 18% tip by essentially creating separate checks for everybody. So instead of just paying the 18% and being a person of ethics and morals, realizing that these servers don't make a whole lot of money except for tips, she writes the following note, and I quote, "I give God 10%, why do you get 18? Then she signed it, Pastor blah 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 yakety smackety." Now, this wasn't even the server that posted this picture. This was actually a friend that worked there. Somebody who, well respected, has been on the track to working to become manager, working her way through school, etc. I'm going to post the links to this story down below. But I'm thinking to myself, this is one of those times where you have to ask, wouldn't it have been better to just pay the tip? These people at Applebee's, they work their asses off, and they force themselves to be polite and courteous to even the most difficult individuals known to man. But what makes this situation worse is that after the receipt was posted on Reddit, on the atheist page, the pastor, instead of acknowledging that she may have blown her witness, and that she may have presented a less than ethical view of what ministry in the Christian church is all about, she decides to get that server at Applebee's fired. Initially, she demanded, not requested, demanded that everybody in that store be fired because she was exposed for being a selfish, self-centered, egotistical individual. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but doesn't the Bible say that if you correct a wise man, they will love you for it? And if you correct a fool, you will suffer harm? Something along that line. Apparently, the waitress corrected a fool. And the really messed up part about this is that the poor server that posted the picture on Reddit wound up getting fired because Applebee's would rather lose someone who's a good worker than someone who's a horrible customer. Mind you, this woman tried to stiff the workers out of their checks. And the really messed up part about this, well, I keep saying the really messed up part about it, the whole situation is extremely messed up, but what really is fascinating is this take from a blogger who is actually one of the more reasonable evangelicals I've come across, and I'll post a link to his site down below. But he then goes on, he talks about this story, and then he goes on to talk about how he gets really bothered by the fact that people within the Christian community have the reputation of being the worst tippers and the worst customers, especially if they're coming out of church. Now, I'm just curious about something here. For my evangelical friends, or even some of my friends who are more center of left within the Christian church, how does this reflect on you? Does it show that, does it put your faith in a positive side note? Or does it show that, maybe there's some things that we need to work on? This woman who claims to be a pastor demonstrated that she not only is selfish, but she's an outright coward because she got called out on her selfishness. I'm just wondering what y'all think. Comments down below. This is Dumac the Artist signing off. Slanchini Falcha. Have a nice day.
Buildings collapse from the earthquakes. Freeways are packed, horns are blowing. Nobody really knowing where the fuck they're going. Tidal waves swallowing the shores. Coffins pushing up through your floors. It's suddenly freezing. We fall to pieces. Pray for Allah and call to Jesus.